Thomas the Tank Engine puffed happily along his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting on the platform. He looked at his watch. Well done, Thomas. You are right on time and really reliable.
Sure, but could he tell that was Thomas just now? That whistle we just heard wasn't even close to sounding like his dual-tone chirpers. How was that mistake not caught? But I'll forgive it since this is taking place at Ellsbridge Station. Why is that? Well, when was the last time we saw this station? Probably back in Season 3. I think that's a long enough wait. However, the engine who couldn't wait was Henry, because he was waiting on his coaches.
What's the matter, Henry? There's no rain today. Stop worrying and do some work instead. I'm not afraid of getting wet anymore, huffed Henry. Anyway, you look silly enough to be a clown. You should join the circus. Oh, whistled Percy. So you've heard the news? What news?
According to Percy, the circus was coming to Sodor, and Top Hat wanted everybody involved. This was great because no longer were the drama queens of Sodor lumps on a log. However, it was only a temporary fix. Shortly thereafter, things went back to status quo when it was time for the circus to leave. I swear these three seem to never be satisfied. It's all or nothing, and when they have it all, it's still not enough.
A little later, Sir Topham Hatt returned.
Now that was an interesting rendition of the busy theme. I swear O'Donnell and Campbell are such an underrated duo of composers. Now for Top Hat's visit, there was word of a blockage at his tunnel and it needed clearing. Of course, this wasn't something Henry was on board for. The last time he was in a tunnel, well, we all know how that went. James said it earlier himself.
They stopped outside the tunnel. It was very dark and quiet, but not for long. "Help!" shouted the workmen, and they ran out.
Henry's face is hilarious. From what the workmen saw, something alive was inside the tunnel. Great, just what Henry needed to know. If it's not him in the tunnel, something else takes his place. The workmen pressured the foreman to abandon the job, but he instead decided to find out for himself. That is, with Henry pushing from behind. Henry was not for this at all.
He had been shut in the tunnel for being afraid of the rain, but this was worse. Something big and alive was inside. "Peep, peep, I don't want to go in." "Neither do I," said his driver, "but we must clear the line." "Oh, dear."
All right, come on, Henry. Now you're starting to sound like Piglet from Winnie the Pooh or something. You're a 10-wheeled behemoth, for cripe's sake. It's not like you're a weakling after all. What happened to coming back from crew and feeling like the strongest engine you ever were? It's not like whatever's in there is going to end up overpowering you. Why do I bother? Yeah, what was in the tunnel wasn't...
Elephant. "Well, I never," cried the foreman. He drank 3 buckets of water and was just about to drink another when Henry let off steam. Cried the elephant.
Well, I guess something like this was bound to happen, seeing it was Henry's luck anyway. At least it's clean water and not boiler sludge or something. And even though the elephant was mad, at least it was kind after that. Could you imagine if the elephant went on a rampage and started attacking workmen, Henry, and everything else in its path? Things would have gotten pretty violent here on Sodor. Even so, this didn't lighten the mood.
But Henry was most upset. "An elephant pushed me. An elephant hooshed me." That night he told the other engines all about it. Gordon and James felt sorry for Henry, but still teased him. "First the rain, then an elephant. Whatever will you be afraid of next?" "Never mind, Henry," murmured Thomas. "I think you were brave today, and really reliable, too."
Look at that. Wasn't that thoughtful of Thomas to say? This was a good episode, mainly because it makes references to older stories and puts an older character front and center again. If there's anything about the story that feels out of place, it's just how it starts. There's really no lead-in to this story. It really could have been placed anywhere after Season 1, and it would have affected very few characters. Either way, though, it was great to see Henry as the star again. The last time he was featured this heavily was Henry's Forest of Season 3. And although what Gordon said could have waited till later, he does have a point. From the very beginning, Henry has never seemed to have gotten away from outside sources causing him problems. Whether that be rain, this elephant, or his coal problem. I just hope after this moment Thomas and Henry have a better bond together. After all, the last true exchange they had was in Thomas and the Guard when Thomas called him fat. The story itself isn't much of a lesson, but just another added experience to Henry's ever-growing list of woes. It also highlights how the 3 drama queens of Sodor still know how to whine when they really want to. Music was alright. The beginning was Thomas's anthem, then comes the busy theme with the circus twist, and lastly was George's theme when Henry's pushed out of the tunnel. Surprisingly, Henry's theme was not played once, which is rare and unfortunate. Set design had a bunch of nice revisits. Ellsbridge Station is seen at the start, then Knapford Harbor as the circus arrives, as well as Tidmouth Sheds. However, the spotlighted place for this entry was none other than Henry's Tunnel. It has been 3 seasons since that structure has been shown last. Next episode is Toad Stands By. Thanks for watching.